what's the latest and greatest in the legislature these days?
Well, we still have road funding that we're looking at, infrastructure funding. We listened to your earlier segments about no fault. I really do think there's some energy to get something done, whether or not it'd be the speaker's plan or the Senate Majority Leader's plan, the governor's plan. But I think one thing's consistent: people do want lower car insurance rates. I've just had a town hall on Thursday, and people came up and showed me their bills and how they've increased. So I think there's some things that both sides could come together on. But we all have to identify what the win is here. I think that's the challenge.
The one thing that I've seen floated that I think has probably almost unanimous bipartisan support is the fraud authority.
Right. Right. Well, it just sounds good, right? I mean, no one wants
fraud.
The fraud and abuse in the system. And if we think we can clean a little bit of that up, then I think it is a win, and we could get some real rates reduced. But the disingenuous part from the insurance side is that they only want to reduce it a commitment for 1 year, and I can't. And when I bring that up with constituents, it just doesn't make sense to them. I say, raise your hand if you've had your premiums on any insurance lowered in the past, and no one raises their hand, and they laugh about it. But also, if they said they're going to reduce rates for 1 year, what do you think they're going to do 2 years out? And so that's the challenge.
Exactly. So I want to go back. First of all,
Sure.
I heard you referred to the speaker's plan, the governor's plan, the senator's plan. I want to know what Frank and Wayne's plan is.
For me right now, it's definitely going with the fraud authority and probably some of the other components to make sure that when people are paying their rates, and also making sure that those drivers who are driving without insurance are paying into whether it's the catastrophic fund or whatever the new fund might be, to make sure that they're paying their fair share. That's been one of the difficulties. Is there are a number of people who are driving without insurance or pick it up for 1 month, get their plates renewed, and then they drop it. And that's something I think we need to look at. And I think there's some opportunities there.
So one of the ways it seems to me, and I'm going to tie these two issues together, you could reduce at least some traffic accidents, is to step up to the plate and invest in Michigan's infrastructure so that the roads are safer. What's up with that, boys? Come on.
Well,
that's Wayne's issue.
That's my issue. And Frank mentioned some of the issues, obviously the insurance issue, but road funding is key. And you're right. The governor mentioned the number of lives that can be saved. We've proven that time and time again, the need to invest. And I think that one of the things that you're going to see, a number of the pundits have said, we're into the silly season, we're not going to do anything. This isn't Washington, D.C. This is Lansing. This is Michigan. We're going to continue to move things forward. We're not. I don't want to say that we're going to just do things wildly or take chances that are unnecessary, but we're a legislature that's elected to govern. That's what we're going to do here in Michigan. Are we going to do the $1.5 billion approximately? Probably not. I just don't see all that coming together. But we do have a third of $1 billion that we've already put towards roads, and I could see some more being added to that. Again, it won't be huge, but it'll be consistent.
It's a total cost of owning a car, right? So if you're
Yes.
paying bills and driving on Michigan roads, it's the total cost of owning the vehicle, and the insurance rate is a small piece of that. The other is the wear and tear on the car. So I can see a win where we put. So bear with me. We put prevailing wage off the table. Okay, we bring on some Democrats on board, and we take this fraud authority and we expand it to a total cap on the total cost of care, and then you go over and you put another cap on the cost of attended care. And I think that's, for the insurance companies, that gives them the long-term, the forecast and not the unlimited liability piece, so they can lower rates and lower their risk assessment. But we also, the fourth leg of that is a real reduction in car rates, $25 to $50 in the first year from insurance companies. That's the commitment I would need to get on board.
Isn't the biggest part of car insurance, though, on the collision side?
Yeah.
That's the biggest part of the bill. So, does what you're talking about with fraud, does that deal with part of that, bring down that cost a little bit?
It does bring down that part. And Frank's right. It's the complete cost of owning a car. And so when you have higher rates because of accidents that are going on, you have higher rates in terms of repair costs, whether it's realigning your car or getting new tires. It's all the same expense. You're paying out because roads aren't in good shape. People are committing fraud. They're not paying their insurance. But it's a complete package, and you could save anywhere based on fixing a number of the roads, improving our transportation network, and this fraud reduction, somewhere between maybe $100, $200 a vehicle.
That's significant.
And that's starting to get into serious money then.
Okay,